You don't actually have low libido, you've just been given the wrong information about how desire works. For years, women have been told that their sex drive should work like a man's, spontaneous, easy, and always present. But here's the truth. That's not how most female desire works at all. If you've been feeling like you never want sex, your libido is broken, or like something is wrong with you, I promise you, it's not you. It's the way that you've been taught to think about sex. My name's Hannah, and I've helped hundreds of women in the last few years to crave sex again in their relationships. And what I'm about to share helps them have huge light bulb moments that change the way that they relate to sex forever. So first, I'm going to share some common mistakes that you might be making that lead you to not wanting sex, and then I'm going to give you simple steps to reignite desire. So let's get into it. Most of us grew up thinking that libido works like a light switch. You either have it or you don't, and that you should just feel in the mood out of nowhere, otherwise something's wrong. But the reality is that 85% of women don't experience desire as spontaneous. For most women, it is more responsive. It doesn't start with a sudden urge to rip your partner's clothes off. It starts with the right environment and touch and connection. And if you've been waiting to feel in the mood before you initiate sex, you might be waiting forever. Which brings me to the first big mistake that's keeping your libido low. Mistake number 1 is just waiting for desire to magically appear. Most women assume that this just happens out of nowhere and hits you like lightning, but for responsive desire types, you need that positive stimulation first. Sensual touch, deep emotional connection, or even just a stress-free environment can help so much. Mistake number 2 is ignoring the things that are shutting your libido down. Stress, exhaustion, resentment, feeling disconnected from yourself, these are all turnoffs. If your brain is busy running through your to-do list, it's going to be nearly impossible to feel turned on. So I'm about to share the third big mistake, but if this is resonating with you so far, make sure to like the video and subscribe for more content on intimacy and desire. Okay, back to the next big mistake. Number 3, thinking your partner needs to change first. Obviously, yes, your partner's behavior matters, but your desire starts with you, not them. And if you're waiting for them to initiate perfectly or read your mind or always make the first move or figure out what turns you on, you are giving away all of your power, which leads to the next real reason that you don't want sex. The reason that you don't want sex is because your body is responding exactly as it should, based on what it's been conditioned to believe. So if sex has become another task on your to-do list, and if it feels like pressure instead of pleasure, if your body has learned to expect stress instead of excitement, then of course your desire is low. But the good news is desire is a skill, not a personality trait. And you can retrain your brain and body to crave intimacy again. And it's easier than you think when you start with these 3 steps. Step number 1, turning off the offs. So before you try to force yourself into more sex, start by removing the barriers to pleasure. Stress, resentment, disconnection, etc. Those are first. And then step number 2, start small with pleasure and no pressure for sex. Instead of jumping straight to intercourse, focus on sensuality. Take time for sensual pleasure without any pressure for it to end in sex. It could be cuddling, self-exploration, or just feeling good in your body again. Step number 3 is build anticipation and create a desire-positive environment. So little shifts like cleaning your space, slowing down, lighting a candle, turning on music, creating more playfulness in your relationship, all make a massive difference in how you feel about intimacy. Your desire isn't broken, it's just waiting for the right conditions to thrive. Okay, the last step that I almost forgot to mention is that you need to have sex that's actually satisfying and rewarding to you. If you're not having 10 out of 10 sex that makes you feel good, of course you're not going to want it. So I made another video outlining how women can make their sexual experiences more satisfying, and I recommend that you check that out next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.